Well, hello there! Today I have an exciting video for you, which is mid-year book freakout tag, which was created some time ago. I will link the original creator in the description. I really like the questions because they kind of really neatly sum up my reading for the first half of 2018. Sorry that you can see the books, but there's a huge stack of books here and I can't really get them out of the frame completely. So the first question, I'm old school and I printed out the questions and wrote my answers. Ooh, who is texting me? So the first question is best book you've read so far in 2018. I have 3 answers here. Do I? Yeah. I was thinking about making a video about my favorite books of 2018 so far, but I don't know, maybe I will briefly mention the 3 here and make more in-depth video later about... I think I have a list of 6, so if you're interested in that, please tell me. The first one is a new edition, which is The Tenant of Wildfell by Bronte. This was great. I will tell you more about this book in my June wrap-up, but this is so feminist and just ahead of its time, really. I feel like Bronte is such an underrated Bronte, and if you haven't read The Tenant of Wildfell, I absolutely recommend this. The second book is Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This is a very controversial choice. I loved it, I think, if you can say that. This is the first book where I finished it and I had no idea what rating to give it. I was just, I think I waited like a week and a half until I was like, yeah, I think this is a 5-star read. But like, I'm still not sure. I still kind of understand the critique. Oh, the lighting is terrible, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this book broke me. And the last book I don't own, it is Free Guineas by Virginia Woolf. If you read A Room of One's Own and enjoyed it, you will love Free Guineas. I actually liked it a lot more than A Room of One's Own, even though I liked A Room of One's Own, but this was... I feel like the ideas that she mentioned in A Room of One's Own were explored a lot better in Free Guineas. Oh my god, I'm getting out of breath. Okay, the next question is best squel you've read so far in 2015. I don't read series, so the best squel would be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because this is the only squel that I've read, and therefore makes it the best one too. I mean, it was good. I gave it 4 stars. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. I have 2 books that would be Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pestel. She wrote Night Film, which I fairly enjoyed, and I really like her writing style, so I would like to read that. And 84K by Claire North. I mentioned Claire North in my previous videos. Really like her writing style, and the ideas for books that she has are absolutely mind-blowing, so I'm very excited about that. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Maybe Bridge of Clay. I don't really keep up with the new releases, but Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak is coming out in October, I believe, and you know, really enjoyed both the Booktube and I Am the Messenger, so maybe I will reach for that too. Biggest disappointment, that would be The Good People by Hannah Kent. I absolutely loved Burial Rites that I read 2 years ago, so I had such high expectations for this. Also, the cover is absolutely stunning. I'm just gonna show you it without the dust jacket. It's like dark green. Okay, you can see it. It won't focus, but yeah, it's. I love the leaf here. But yeah, I actually didn't have to. Can you hear anything? No. I actually didn't have it. Just, it's not like the atmospheric writing that was in Burial Rites still was here, but the plot I wasn't really interested in, and I just couldn't keep going and DNF'd it like 100 pages. Biggest surprise, that would be Free Guineas, because I actually borrowed it from the library and it was the bind up of 2 essays. So the first one was A Room of One's Own, the second one was Free Guineas. And I read A Room of One's Own and I wasn't that impressed. It was good, obviously. It was like clever and well written, but I I wasn't sure if I wanted to read Frequencies, but I gave it a chance and I'm so glad I did because it was amazing. And the second one would be The Psychopath Test by John Ronson, which I have here. I read So You've Been Publicly Shamed, and I kind of enjoyed it. Like, it was alright, nothing special. So yeah, going into this book, I knew what to expect. I knew what his writing style was, and the topic that he explores here, which is, you know, he talks about psychopaths. He interviews them. He interviews like scientists, psychologists, to kind of really explore the topic of psychopaths. And yeah, it was very entertaining. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Favorite new author, debut or new to you? So it's definitely not a debut author, but Annie Bronte. Just her writing style is amazing. I'm going to read everything she's ever written. And hanya and yanagihara. Newest fictional crush, don't have one. Newest favorite character, that would be Annie from Persuasion. We don't deserve Annie Elliot. She's a precious little angel. Also, she's the oldest one out of all of like main heroines of Jane Austen's novels. But she was so mature. She was lovely, and you need to read Persuasion if you haven't read it yet. Number 10, book that made you cry. Definitely Little Life. I was scrolling through all the books that I read this year, and this is actually the only book that made me cry, but boy did it make me cry. I cried like at least 8 times. Seriously. This book made me like sob uncontrollably, that I actually had to stop reading and like calm myself down. Every time I was reaching for this book and I was going to read a new chapter, I had to like mentally prepare myself for this experience. So yeah, definitely not for the faint-hearted. One book made me like, not cry, but maybe tear up a little bit, and that would be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. The ending, just so many emotions. Book that made you happy, that would be Oscar Wilde's Lord Arthur Saville's Crime. This is such an unexpected little story. I read The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this is that's quite a gothic story, so I kind of was expecting the same thing here, and this really surprised me. It was hilarious, and if you haven't read it, really give it a try, because it goes in a direction you don't expect it to. Another thing that made me cry would be Moliere's The Misanthrope. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, it's a play, and I absolutely loved the ending. The Moliere's plays can be a little bit too moralizing. Is this the word? The Misanthrope was hilarious, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Okay, favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year? I literally stayed up last night to watch, what was it? North and South. The adaptation from 2004, and it was great. I didn't absolutely love North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, the book, but I feel like most of the issues that I had with the book were fixed in the movie, so it was amazing. The only issue that I had was in the beginning, Mr. Thornton like beats up his employee, and he was just physically violent, and that was not present in the book at all. I understand why they did it, because they kind of had to, because you can't really show Margaret's prejudice that was quite subtly done in the book, so they had to do something like dramatic for her to be prejudiced? Yes, prejudiced against him. Okay, I know English. But yeah, I thought it was weird and a little bit unnecessary. But overall, great adaptation. I stayed up until like 3 AM watching this. Okay, favorite review you've written so far, or Booktube version, favorite video you've done so far in this year? You know, I started my channel in May, so it hasn't been that long. But my favorite video would be authors I want to read more from. It's not perfect at all. The audio is still quite quiet in that video, and I was trying to like add the photos of the books that I was talking about, and that failed a few times, so that's a little bit embarrassing. But I had a great time talking about like authors that I read books from and I really liked, and about books that I would like to read from these authors. So if you haven't watched that, I will link it in the description. And most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received, that would be The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. I sadly did not enjoy this book at all, but the cover is great. And the last question, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I actually have a video on this topic, so I will link it in the description too. But if I were to choose just one book, that would be Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. But if you want to hear more of my thoughts about the books that I want to read before 2018 ends, go to that video. Okay, so that was everything that I had for you today, and see you in the next video. Bye!